I thought everything was going to get fixed, man. I thought Donovan Mitchell was a god. I thought he just shows up and instantly the Cavs are going to play better basketball. Was I lied to, Ryan? Is that not a factual statement? What happened? The hell was that? I'm kidding. That was not some April Fool's joke, by the way, because April Fool's is the lamest, stupidest. I don't even want to call it a holiday because it's not. It's the stupidest thing.
Don't go on Twitter today.
Oh, all over, Ryan. I did a show one time years ago that they sent out an April Fool's joke that they were renaming Ohio Stadium. We did a whole hour on the show about them renaming Ohio Stadium like Ohio State.
You got punked
Yeah,
that hard?
oh yeah, it wasn't my fault. It was the main host's fault. And they put an article out that said that they were going to rename Ohio Stadium the Safe Light Stadium. We did an hour of the show, and then if you would have, granted all of our fault, you'd have scrolled all the way to the bottom of the article, it would have said this is an April Fool's joke. April Fool's is lame. It is stupid. I don't know why we do it. But I feel like a fool for believing in this Cavs team, just thinking Donovan Mitchell was going to fix everything. And oh, by the way, now you enter this West Coast swing. Best of luck. Yeah, I know it's the Nuggets. Yeah, I know they're missing Jamal Murray. I know all that other kind of stuff. But, man, real concern about where the Cavs are at. We got Browns discussion. We got Watson on the stadium. He's on the podcast. I got to discuss Dan Gilbert, man. Got to bring up what Dan had to say about Donovan Mitchell. In everything that's going bad, you know what we got? Guards! Hell yeah! That's how you open up a season right there for the Guardians, baby. Yeah! Let's go. We got that. We'll get to another boost in it. We're red hot with our Guardians boost. Yeah, Let's go. Get to that tonight. We got the grid. We got the finals of our bracket of the week. We'll get to time up, morning update. We got all of it for you on a beautiful Monday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy Monday. Lent over if you celebrate. I'm getting a donut this week, Ryan.
Okay, what kind?
I just go sprinkles. I'll listen to a jelly donut from time to time.
I'm a big glazed guy.
I like glazed. I like standard glazed. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know if I've met a donut I don't like, but jelly is good. Sprinkles, just a little like glazed with sprinkles, a little chocolate frosting with sprinkles. My son he's not even 3. He's hilarious. We usually stop for donuts on a Friday. It's the thing him and I do. And dude, every time we get a donut, I'll get him one because he wants sprinkles. He's a kid, of course. He doesn't want sprinkles. He just eats the top of the donut with the sprinkles and the frosting. He hands me the donut and goes, I don't want this bread.
Yeah, that reminds me. Like, I used to have my mom cut the edges on my PB&J.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't do that?
Everybody did that.
Who doesn't do that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, back outside of that, got a lot to get to this morning on the show. We start with the Cavs, though. Is it wrong for me to read into a 29-point loss to the Denver Nuggets, Ryan?
No.
Is it wrong for me to?
No, there's certain things you can read into.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? If you told me that the Cavs were going to lose to the Nuggets by 29, and I just made that statement, you go, yeah, okay, I kind of believe that. If I told you that Donovan Mitchell had a horrendous shooting night and only scored 13 points in that game, makes a little more sense. I don't want to talk about Darius Garland anymore. I don't want to talk about him anymore. And I'm not angry at him. It's not his fault. I think I've seen all I need to see, Ryan. Man. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I think I'm good. Like, dude, this is it's so frustrating. And the problem is that we all got hooked. There was a point that we believed that maybe this team was something that they're not. I don't know. And maybe this is the true team. And maybe they can go on some miraculous playoff run. Maybe everything will be better. Donovan Mitchell maybe he'll sign. We'll talk about Dan Gilbert in a second. I don't know, man. It's different. If you expect your team to be bad, you don't get upset about that game. That's a great Twitter question this morning. Are you upset by that Cavs game on Sunday? Did Sunday's game for the Cavs, losing by 29 to the Nuggets, Donovan Mitchell shot 3 of 12 from the field. Darius Garland had 5 points. That's it. Yeah, nice night from Evan Mobley. Jared Allen continuing to do what he does. Not so much on the rebounding side, but 19 points. The ultimate question is we're getting back into the apathy question. Are you apathetic towards this team? Are you just not even caring anymore? Because, Ryan, you had the idea and the belief, call me when the playoffs show up. Now, I don't even know if I can adopt that. Because when I watch games like that, it's not that they're going to fall out of the playoffs. They're still going to be in the playoffs in some capacity. Are they going to be able to hold on? Are they even going to have home court advantage in the first round? Who knows? I can't even jump on that anymore with this team, with how poorly it's gone. There's a lot of reasons for it. I don't even know if we could break down every one of them in a 2-hour show. You go through all the injuries, sure. You go through the lineup change. You go through all this. And maybe it's just this team isn't that good. Maybe the injuries have finally been too much. Is Donovan Mitchell right? What did we say last week? When we got the report, he was going to come back on Friday, right? Good, great. You beat the 76ers. It was a good game. It was a close game, fine. Does Donovan look like he is ready to be back? I don't know. Did you rush him back because of how things were going and he could have used some more time off? I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. All I know is I watch this team play and I go, what the hell is happening? What is going on? And however the rest of this West Coast trip goes, dude, I shouldn't be frustrated. I should not be frustrated with this team because I think they're showing us who they actually are. But here I am pissed off.
And
this morning.
that's where it goes, Matt. Because you asked if you can read much into that game, and the way I put it, the question I said, yes, of course, if they're upset, and then no, it was the Nuggets. And yes, you get blown out by the Nuggets.
Sure,
the Nuggets.
That's fine. That's fine.
The reigning NBA champions. They're still. That's the thing. I think the loss is one thing, but it showed how far we really are from being a real contender. Go look at the Nuggets. You obviously have Nikola Jokic, who I think we can agree is the best player in the NBA right now. But besides him, they had 4 starters with 19-plus points. Jared Allen had the 19, and Evan Mobley had a good game. Outside of that, nobody really showed up. And the stat to me was we were out-rebounded 28-51, Matt.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to the stink that we've had on this Cavs team ever since that Knicks series, which is they're not physical enough. And I think that really showed how far we are from being a team like the Nuggets.
You know what bothers me maybe the most about that game? The Nuggets saw you walking into their building, and Jokic goes, watch me destroy this team. Like, that was borderline JV varsity type stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, when you knew that you were just going to wipe the floor with this team. And it looked like the Nuggets did not respect the Cavaliers last night. And that, beyond anything, and it goes back to what we talked about with the toughness and the mentality and all that other crap that I try not to get into, whatever. It's the fact you got punked. I mean, you got smoked by, yes, one of the better teams in the NBA. A guy that's going to go win his 3rd MVP. Played like an MVP last night. You're right. That just showed us the gap. You want to know the problem? You are now entering a stretch where the Suns are going to say the same thing, and the Clippers are going to say the same thing, and the Lakers are going to say the same thing. Watch these guys come in. We'll smoke them. We got it. Now, I have fully admitted that I put too much on the Phoenix Suns, and I think they should be better than they really are. I don't know what the Lakers teams are going to be or not. But I tell you, man, I hate that.
At least
I hate when you it's like borderline. You roll the basketballs out and you go, yeah, this game's about over.
At least the Suns and the Lakers, though, you have the excuse of they're in the West. I mean, thank God these Cavs are in the East. But yesterday's game was just another example of the problem. If Donovan Mitchell has an even slightly below average game, the Cavs don't stand a chance. And that goes into playoffs. I mean, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't play well, you're not winning a single game in the playoffs.
Done. If he's either hurt or not to himself, you're done. And that gets back again to the conversation about his future. Let's get to Dan Gilbert. Okay, so Tom Withers, I've known Tom for a long time, AP writer, great stuff. And Tom had a tweet that he spoke to Dan Gilbert. And Dan Gilbert said he was, quote, confident that Donovan Mitchell would sign as an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers this offseason. Then Donovan was asked about it back on Friday. And he said, I've got a lot of things to focus on right now, to be honest. I've got to focus on myself getting back to this group, focus on getting over this stretch, and continuing to be ready. He gave a great non-answer. And I think he even dropped at one point, I understand why you asked the question. He didn't get angry about it. He completely understood where it was coming from. I need to say this. I want to say this in the most respectful way that I possibly can, and I want to make sure I talk through this. Dan Gilbert is very smart. He brought us a championship here, and I put him up there maybe only behind LeBron and Kyrie as the reasons we have a championship. I'm not trying to crap on Kevin Love or Ty Lue or Tristan Thompson, but the money Dan Gilbert spent going back on the letter and all that, whatever. Dan Gilbert is a very important person to our town, and he's done an amazing job as the owner of the Cavaliers. What he said to the AP last week was a mistake. You don't say that. Even if you feel that, even if Kobe Altman is giving Dan Gilbert some positive messages that he feels like Donovan Mitchell's going to sign an extension here, you cannot get that out there. That's a bad idea, because now it's coming off that you're telling Donovan Mitchell what to do. And he didn't say, oh yeah, he's signing this extension. He said he's confident that he's going to sign this extension. Does that not, Ryan, if you were Donovan Mitchell and you heard that, would you not look there and be like, dude, what do you mean?
It does give the sense that you're putting words in another player's mouth. And the last thing you want to do is do that to your superstar, who you know the very future of your team is dependent on this player's mindset.
And I believe he has not yet made a decision.
No way.
So if he hasn't made a decision, he's still thinking about it. The rest of this season could be very important on swaying Donovan Mitchell and how he feels. And then the owner drops this. I thought it was a bad idea. And why, I don't know. I can't not connect dots. It's what I do. What did the Cavs say last week? We're opening a brand new facility down here. We got a brand new training thing. I saw the renderings. It looks beautiful. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk Brown Stadium coming out. They're getting a new training facility. It's down on the river. It looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. It's awesome, right? So then why at this juncture of everything would Dan Gilbert say this now? Like, I'm just trying to understand why he felt compelled to say that now. It's not like you got to keep stock investors happy, where you got to leak some information out. Think about the Cavs as a business. Think about them as a stock, Ryan. I would imagine that stock is going down right now. People are selling off this stock because they see it trending down. Well, what would you do to raise the price on the stock a little bit? You leak out positive information about the future of, in this idea, the business. The future of your business. Hey, we're keeping our star guy around a little bit. You would think that stock, there's no point in that. That doesn't count. What does that mean? What did Dan Gilbert gain by leaking out and saying to the Associated Press that he feels confident that Donovan Mitchell is going to sign an extension? Why did that come out now? Because the fans were upset? Because the Cavs are not playing well? Did he feel like this was like a circling of the wagon, so to speak, or like a rallying point?
Maybe he was nervous. He got caught off guard.
I don't know. I do not know. I don't understand it. And maybe I'm making too much out of this. He said something, all right, move on, whatever. Donovan was asked about it on Friday. All right, yeah, whatever, we'll move on from it. I didn't like how that came off. I didn't like that. Because I don't know if Donovan's made his decision or not. And if he hasn't, could you imagine somebody else telling you how you think? And I don't think Dan was doing that. But I'm sorry. That's just, when I read that, when I saw it for the first time, I go, I don't know if I like this. I think it's a bad idea. Because if Donovan hasn't made his decision yet, this now factors in, right? Because what if he doesn't?
Well, we know.
What if he doesn't? Then everybody's gonna look at Dan Gilbert like, what were you saying?
We know Dan Gilbert has some history with making comments, given the LeBron.
And that's part of his journey here, and part of the reason you got a championship back was Dan learned from that and remedied that situation. There were a lot of reports that he and LeBron had a sit down, and they had to air those grievances, and they had to air out what exactly happened that first time with the Comic Sans font on that letter. I get it. There's a history. There's ups and downs. But, to feel that you had to say it now. The fact that you felt like you needed to say something. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why?
He was probably nervous.
Nervous about what? That his team
leaving, I don't know.
No, I guess Donovan leaving, sure. But, that your team isn't playing well, that... really, I just, and am I making too much? Tell me that I'm making too much out of this, that this doesn't mean anything, that it doesn't impact.
I don't know, because it all just depends on Donovan.
But and maybe this will just get lost in into the wind, and it's just something that was said, and we all kind of move on from it. I just thought it was really weird timing to come out now and be like, oh yeah, we're confident. Now the thing is, are you confident? Are you confident that Donovan Mitchell is going to sign an extension?
So do you think he should have just mulled it over and be like, listen, it's a decision. I don't have any power really in deciding. I don't know his future.
Let's do this. I'm going to play Dan Gilbert for a second. You asked me the question, where do you think we stand with Donovan Mitchell?
Dan. Where do you feel as your organization stands with Donovan Mitchell's future?
I think Donovan Mitchell is an amazing star in the NBA. He's an elite player. He is a superstar, and we're so happy that he is here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to work very hard that he does remain with the Cavs, and we hope that we can prove to him that we are a place he can win a championship with. With that being said, it is still up to his decision. We're going to work really hard with him and his representation this offseason to get a deal done.
Why don't you go be his PR guy?
I don't think he needs me. I think he's got a lot of... And this is the thing. I know the Cavs are a bunch of smart people. I know they have a lot of smart people over there. And the other thing, and I don't know this, because I played Dan Gilbert there for 10 seconds. I don't know where did he get that? Where did he get this confidence? Is it that Kobe is here's the thing. Donovan Mitchell is probably going to sign an extension here. Probably.
Oh, so you think so?
No, here's the reason why. Even if he signs it, he still has all the power. In no league other than the NBA, and sorry, I don't watch soccer, so maybe the Premier League, but I don't know how that works. In no other league do contracts lock you into a team less than the NBA. And again, it's not always easy. I see max level guys get traded all the time. Because when you enter that elite status, which Donovan Mitchell is, if you're not happy, you're gone. And I actually don't mind that player empowerment. I think it's a great actual thing that the NBA has that nobody else does. Some people might say that's ruining the game. When James Harden gets traded 10 times and Kyrie Irving's out of this place and Kevin Durant can move on, that's fine. But the players know, I will sign this money because it is in front of me. It's guaranteed money. And I'll tell you this, Ryan. Donovan Mitchell could sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers on June 23rd. My birthday. What a present that would be. I don't even know when the league year started. I just made that date up because of my birthday. Whatever. Anyway, he could sign this in the middle of June. Things go bad, he could get traded by February. There is no world. And hang on. I'm shooting from the hip on this, and maybe I'm wrong. Is there a rule about trading Supermax? When can you trade a max player NBA? That's the only thing that would stop me. Sorry, we're both sniffling this morning, man. It's the illness, the sickness is around. Okay, wait. Individual players, okay, trade restrictions, okay, Not bird rights, not really rights. Okay. Some players can block a trade, we know. When a free agent resigns with the team for one season, that player can block a trade. Extensions. Okay. When a veteran signs an extension, this is from Sports Business. When a veteran signs an extension, the size and length of the extension determine trade eligibility. Teams are permitted to extend and trade players, but extensions are limited to no more than a 5% raise in 2 additional seasons. Okay. Rookie scale extensions is what I was trying to say there. They actually bring up Darius Garland in this. Okay, we got to look at this. That's the only thing. I don't want to keep on this thing about him potentially being traded if they sign him to an extension and he can't be. I don't know how that would work. I'm going to send a text and find out about that. All right? Because that's the only thing. Here I am saying. But you get my point. Like, him signing that extension, he still is going to hold the Cavs to a point of, if it's like LeBron, I want to be competitive. I want to continue to put competitive pieces around me, and we'll figure it out. Like, I got to find that out. Because here I am shooting the hip on Donovan Mitchell, and I don't know. He potentially might not be able to be traded, but I don't think so. Okay. You want to go to Reddit? Think Reddit's got something here? Oh, God is right. This is from 5 years ago. Can a player sign a supermax, then be traded? Players who sign a designated veteran contract or extension can't be traded for 1 year after he is signed. But that was 5 years ago. What's the new CBA look like? I don't know. So maybe that can't be it. So then, to go back to Dan Gilbert's confidence comment, Donovan Mitchell would sign that deal and then be locked in. Do you think he's sitting here looking at this team going, yeah, I want to be here for a while?
Well, that goes back to the question you posed a little bit ago. The way Donovan Mitchell's looking at it one of two ways. Am I going to stay here and be that superstar that hopefully can turn this around? Or am I getting out of town because I want to be with a real contender? And clearly the Cavs right now, you would look at them and say, absolutely not. They're not even close.
That's my thing is I look at it from last year and said, last week, does Donovan sit there and say, man, this team really needs me, and when I get back, it's going to be right? Or I've got to shoulder an immense amount of burden on this team. Then you get to not only his decision, but the aforementioned, who I said I wasn't going to talk about anymore, Darius Garland. Darius Garland will not be here if Donovan Mitchell signs his extension. That's not me being angry. That's not me being spiteful. I like Darius Garland a lot. The fact remains that your 4 big players will not all be here next year. You're not getting rid of Evan Mobley. You're not getting rid of Jared Allen. And if Donovan Mitchell signs that extension, the Cavs will have no choice but to trade away Darius Garland. Now, what he's playing like right now, would anybody sit there and go, man, what a loss? That's a shot. That was me. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to tell you. So now we look at it from that standpoint where the Cavs go, dude, your decision will just now set off a chain of 5 and 6 other decisions that we need to make. We need your decision first. And I think it'd be unfair. It would be extremely unfair and maybe bad business practice to force Donovan Mitchell right now to make a decision. But Kobe Altman is probably sitting in his office right now, coming up with contingency plans left and right on who what we're going to do here and what we're going to trade here and what we're going to move. That's the tough job that he's got in front of him. On top of the fact that you're most likely going to have to be looking for a new head coach this offseason, too. That comes from somebody who likes JB Bickerstaff, and I unfortunately think we have crossed the line of no return with JB.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not calling for his job because I frankly think he's good and I don't want him to go. The problem is, here we are.
Well, so how much of these issues run directly through Darius Garland not playing well? Probably the majority of them.
I don't want to say majority of them, but yeah, you look at him and you say, all right, kind of step up, man. You need him to step up when he was out, and he didn't. And now that even that Mitchell's back, do those guys look like they're playing well with one another? No. That's the other problem. If they would have come back, if Donovan came back, and the Cavs are losing close games, but you saw Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland playing really well. If they had even had the stat line that Mobley and Allen had, if you gave me 23 and 19, if you were giving me 26 and 22 a night from Mitchell and Garland, I'd be having a different conversation. I'd be singing a different song this morning. Not where we're at. No. It's not where we're at. They're in a bad spot. They are. We know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. You know who's not in a bad spot? The Guardians. Yes. I want to give them a little love here before we talk some Browns. That is, I know it's the A's. I know it's the A's. I know that. But damn, am I in on the Guards, man. You had to look at it yesterday. So what? You walked a guy in. So what?
Yeah, but I mean, it's.
You want to make the playoffs, you win series. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to sweep teams. You need to win series. They won that series. They start in Seattle tonight.
It's not up yet.
Damn it. We'll get to our boost coming up. Tristan McKenzie on the hill. I love this team, man. I'm in. I'm all in. Let's go. Fun to watch. Fun to watch. We didn't really talk. We didn't have a show. We didn't talk. Dude, Bieber, lights out. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man.
So good. Logan
If he keeps
Allen
playing
back.
like that. Well, we goes back to Matt. You said even if he plays well, I mean, you're not going to extend him.
I want to extend him.
But you said
I would love nothing more than to extend
But you
him.
said you don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't
regardless.
think it's going to happen at all, which is the crappy
And even
thing.
if he comes out and starts putting up,
Well, that's the thing. Your point is if he comes out and plays like lights out
you
amazing,
can't trade him.
how are you going to trade him, right?
Yeah.
Right. I get it. 100%. Now, the other issue on all of this thing, too, is, like Bybee. Okay, yeah, a rough outing. Your bat showed up. Talk about manufacturing some runs. Talk about hitting a little bit. I assume that Tanner Bybee is not going to be that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you assume he's going to get better, and you don't have to deal with that. Like, and again, Cookie, okay, fine. I thought he scrapped. That was a good game. He just, okay, fine. He gave it up. So what? You win series, you're going to go to the playoffs. That's all I ask. And how many guys did you get your day off yesterday for? Quite a few.
Yeah, man.
Quite a few. Fine with that. I love it. Dude, this was such a great start for the Guardians. I'm
Hedge
so
is
happy.
bringing the bat too, man. He's playing really well.
Everybody.
Obviously, his counterpart, Bo, a very slow start to the season, both
okay.
base running and
Dude,
hitting.
hitting is contagious. Hitting is so contagious. When you get some guys in the lineup that can start raking a little bit, it starts filtering on through. Vote off to a good start. I don't know if we had any challenges for me to freak out about. I'm excited, man. I'm all in.
Yeah,
on the
man.
Guards.
I'm excited
all in on the
about
Guards.
Andres Jimenez, man. If he keeps playing like this, he'll be the starter for the
He
second
is in our
base
boost for
also,
tonight.
So I'm excited.
He is in our boost
He's been
tonight.
playing out of his mind.
I'm excited for that. All right, do you want to catch a break and then get some Browns? You want to do that?
Sure.
Let's do that. Let's catch our first break in the morning. We come back, we got to talk Browns. We got a lot of Browns. Deshaun Watson, the other important player that his first name starts with a D. God bless you, Ryan. You good? Are you one of those two sneeze people? Do you always sneeze twice?
Yeah, I muted my mic though.
Yeah,
So
okay. No, it's all good.
Our audience isn't.
It's all good. We're
Hearing me
all.
sneeze.
It's the sniffles. It's all of it. It's circulating. It's circulating.
It's the
around.
watching the Cavs play basketball flu.
No, the problem is that it got warm and then it got cold again.
Yeah,
And
my
then-
body doesn't know what's going on.
Well, and the other thing is people are on vacations and stuff, so they're getting around, they're going around, they're catching new stuff. It's all over. Anyway, we'll talk some Browns. Deshaun Watson was on his podcast. He talked about his injury update, which was positive. He also weighed in on the stadium. Okay. What did everybody have to take of? Well, if he doesn't play well, he's not even going to be here to play in the new stadium. I get it. I understand it. But I want to hear what Deshaun, I want to read what Deshaun had to say on his podcast about it. We'll dive back. Did you see what the Northeast Round Transportation blog was?
No, I don't read that.
I don't know if this was a Oh,
Oh, Lord.
oh, Lord.
What'd they say?
It's April Fool's, right? That's what it was.
What'd they say, though?
They joked about them building an island.
You
We always-
fell for that?
No, I didn't, but I was just like, it's a weird post to make. And now, like, April Fool's Day sucks. Can I say that again? April Fool's Day is stupid. It is absolutely stupid. I didn't believe it because I was like, that's so weird. And then they okay, I got it. Bing, bang, boom. Got it. April Fool's Day. Yeah, jokes on my dad. Oh, good one, guys. April Fool's Day is stupid. We'll talk more stadium. We got Deshaun Watson. We got all that coming up right here on Matt Fontana Show. On Big Play. Got Typical, folks. How's your weekend? NCAA tournament. Who had NC State, baby?
Not me, man.
No, I didn't either. It was a fun weekend. You got it all with Typico, though, folks. The Imperfect Parlay. Our boosts are going. I am so excited that I get to sit down and watch baseball and have our little boost going. That's how it is. I placed a little NASCAR wager. Richmond last night at night.
Did it hit?
No, absolutely not. Did not have Denny Hamlin doing that. Kyle Busch has won at Richmond like 6 times. Wrecked. Of course. But anyway, it's all there, folks. That's what I love about Tipico. What are you into? They got it. They got the boost. They got the imperfect parlays. They have it all for you right there, including the cash back rewards. Can we go here real quick?
Yeah, that's been helping me out lately.
Dude, hadn't it been nice? Right here. You probably cannot see that at all on my screen. Sorry. That's my fault. Right now, earn real cash for every $100 you place on bets with minus 200 or longer odds. So again, it's just got to be better than that. You can't place a minus 10,000 and get your, cash. Here I'm at. I'm at $68.74. So I will add that up and I will get 5% back of my average bet. Folks, you're betting normally anyway. You don't even have to track it. They do it right here for Tipico. The other thing, it's none of this stupid stuff about, you get this token. And, wait, you could cash this token in for a hat. You could cash this token in for a brand new coffee mug. When in reality, you mean everybody go, I just want cash back to keep betting. That's what it is at Tipico. Terms and conditions apply. You get a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Tipico's got everything laid out for you. Still haven't signed up yet? Our promo code's still working, folks, for new customers. Fontana 100. When you sign up and deposit $25 and bet that on whatever you want, you'll get $100 in bonus bets. I had a lot of friends take advantage of this for the NCAA tournament. Still an opportunity for that. You want to know where the other place we're going to cook with that imperfect parlay, Ryan? NBA playoffs.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you mean?
I said, yeah, baby.
Oh, they said maybe. I was like, no. This is going to cook. This is going to cook for the NBA playoffs. I love it, man. Get signed up today. Tipico code use that code Fontana100. Deposit bet $25 and you get $100 in bonus bets. Check that out today. Got more Browns. We'll dive back into the Cavs. I have people pushing back on me to say I was wrong on my Dan Gilbert take. I have people that are telling me that I thought it was a bad idea for Dan Gilbert to say what he said about Donovan Mitchell. I'll explain maybe where they're trying to come from. We'll do it next. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, back here, Matt Fontana show right here on Big Play, talking some Cavs. I got people telling me I'm wrong. I got people telling me I'm wrong about my Dan Gilbert take earlier. We'll get to that coming up. We'll also talk a little bit more about the Browns. We've got some Guardians coming up. We'll get to the morning update, our bracket. We got it all right here on Big Play. Let's flip over to some Browns and talking about Deshaun Watson. So he was on his podcast this weekend, and he was talking about a lot of things. So he has the QB Unplugged podcast that he does. And he was talking about his injury, which just on that, not much to get into. Things are going well. Good. If he's throwing, as long as he's on schedule, he's on pace, great. That's all we need to be. Now, he brought up the stadium situation, right? And of course, this is the hottest topic with the Browns right now. And you and I argue and bash our heads against the wall. It's like Donovan Mitchell. Dan Gilbert doesn't actually know what Donovan Mitchell is going to do, and we don't know what the Browns and the city of Cleveland are going to do. Anybody that tries to tell you that they actually have insight on what's going on, they don't. Because the people making this decision, they don't. This is a long, drawn-out negotiation. Yes, the Haslam's have a deal in place. They could buy that land in Brook Park. Yes, they've researched this. They've talked about that. No decisions have been made. So anybody that's trying to tell you that for a fact they're going to Brook Park or for a fact they're renovating this thing, they don't know. It is impossible for them to actually know. Me, I'm on record as saying, and I'll continue to say it, I think they're going to renovate and stay on the lakefront. That's just me. Now, Watson was asked about it, more about the dome versus an outdoor stadium. And he said on his podcast, if anybody could sit here and say it's not an advantage, especially for quarterbacks to play inside a warm area, then you're crazy. The ball being dry, being able to throw the ball with no wind or no lightning or rain is definitely key. So I'd say if I had to pick, of course I'm going to say the dome and a new facility and the lights and all that stuff. It's going to bring more money to the city. Is that not funny that even that has now permeated into Watson, and he even knows this debate about the money and the Super Bowl?
Maybe
and all
he
that
should give Cleveland some money.
Yeah, that's a whole nother part of it. There's so many people that had this. When everybody's got us down the hot take, Watson's not even going to be here to play in that new stadium. Yeah, keeps going the way it's going. He won't be. By the way, I told you when you're going to restructure. Here we are. All right. When can I take that victory lap? When can I take that victory lap?
We'll say
August.
August,
Fine.
August.
I'll wait for that. So it's funny that even Watson knows where we're at with the stadium thing. And I understand where he's coming from, right? Of course, he, as a quarterback, would love to play in a dome. My other thing, and he didn't mention this, but I'd love to get his thoughts on it. What about the turf, man? What do I hear so much about is the turf and how the synthetic surfaces wreck knees. Guys that would tell you, all of these former players that podcast, and what do they say? You get done playing on turf, you feel like you were playing on concrete. Your knees hurt, your ankles hurt. All that kind of stuff, let alone the ACL injuries and the Achilles injuries and all that other stuff that's happening on the turf. By the way, did you see what the Jets did? Or East Rutherford? Apparently, they're turning the tide. They were supposed to get grass installed because they're having the World Cup. And they're like, wait a minute. What are you going to do there? I digress. But anyway, if you want grass, you can't have a dome. Well, Matt, wait a minute. Look what Arizona does. Look what the Vegas Raiders do. Look what all those soccer stadiums do. You're having trouble financing a regular stadium, and you want to go buy a Maserati stadium. You're barely able to afford a standard mid-level sedan, and you're asking the price of the Lambo. That's not how this is going to go. And that's, I think, another problem that some people are not realizing when they think about a new stadium. Ryan, when they think of the new stadium, what are they thinking of? SoFi and Vegas. You're not getting that. You're going to get a new stadium, which is nice. Those places cost $4 billion. We're having trouble financing $1 billion. That's a giant difference. That is, you can't even understand how far and wide that is. We're talking about this. People just snap your fingers, just build it, right? And then the other thing, how many people complain about ticket prices? How many people are complaining about going to a game? Where do you think that money is going to come? Oh, no, taxes, Matt. Oh, no. that revenue that they're going to, you can't just snap your, the Haslams are worth all this money. You think they're going to sink it all into a stadium? No. And the money that they would get from Brook Park, the money that they would get from the state of Ohio, people are searching and grasping for what they want. And that's not realistic. Back to the dome versus stadium thing, I've been a fan for a long time. I've gone to great weather games. I've gone to horrible weather games. And I'll tell you, I've enjoyed them all the same. You know what I want? The Browns to win. Now, there is something to be said about the old sports talky fan from 1972 take. It's the AFC North, man. We play tough football around this place. We run the ball. We deal with the snow and the rain. That gets a little old for me. But that being said, all the other AFC North teams have stadiums, outdoor stadiums, right? Buffalo's building a brand new one. You know what they're not putting on it? Or a roof. Now, Chicago is. Ryan, what, you know what the price tag is for that Chicago build out there?
$3 billion.
Something like that. You're not getting that here. Got to understand, this kind of goes back to, I hate to say, the politics of baseball and the Guardians. You can't spend like other teams. The Browns and the Haslams, who are very rich, I'm not saying they're not, you cannot spend even like the Chicago Bears. You cannot spend like the Las Vegas Raiders. You cannot spend like the two LA teams because they're in LA, Vegas, and Chicago. All three of those cities are massively bigger. Now, people populate. I'm talking about the money, the revenue. You ain't getting that here in Cleveland. You got to lower your expectations. So when I lower my expectations, I'm going back to the lowest that I can go. That's renovating. It's the lowest price. It's the lowest impact. And I know that they want to build it up for all this other stuff. I just don't think you're getting it. I really, and I'm sure the Haslams have discussed this with all of these people, right? All these different marketing people and media people and sports people and all that kind of stuff. Because the other thing, you want to know another misnomer that I think people are having with this place? That you would go to the stadium every week for an event. Like, oh yeah, this week is a giant concert, and then next week is this, and next week is that, and you're getting one Final Four every 15 years if you're lucky. You're going to get one Super Bowl ever, and that'll be it. All these events will not come back around for decades, and by then, what's going to happen? Well, you need a new stadium again all of a sudden, all right? I hate bringing it up because it's just like it's the never-ending thing. It's a never-ending song, man. We just keep going on and on and on about what's going to be. Now, Watson's point of the players, right? I'm sure the players would love the ideal thing. I'm sure they love going to play in Vegas. It's inside, it's warm, and you're on grass. Now, again, I go back. Do you remember that picture they sent out of the Raiders, the last home game of the year?
LeBron's hairline?
Dude, that stadium grass looked like LeBron's hair. It was bad. It was really bad. It was patchy. It was gone. It was terrible. So it's not like you're always getting this lush grass. Now, me, myself, as a dad and a father here in Northeast Ohio, I do care about my lawn, right? I hope nobody's mowed yet. I see how people riding down my street mowing. I go, no, bad idea. You can't mow yet. Don't mow yet. You got to get the good spring for. You know the key to all the lawns out there, Ryan? Your fall fertilizer, baby. You got to get the fall down to get it through the winter and then give it the nutrients that it needs for the springtime. But I digress. Is it easy to grow grass here? Actually, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad because we get the rain. It's a temperament climate. Could they do that? I don't know. It's just talking about if they built this brand new, shebang out there in Brook Park. Would they build that thing where they slide the grass in and out? I don't know. The thing is, the Haslams and their people have gone through all of these things. I can almost guarantee you they have sat down and discussed everything. For the April Fool's Day joke on the Northeast Route Transportation blog, have they discussed building an island and putting it out on an island outside the break wall of Lake Erie, on Lake Erie?
That'd be kind of sick.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Like the draft when they did the boats?
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure they discussed that for as stupid as it sounds. I'm sure they've discussed the new stadium with the turf and the new stadium with the grass and all this other kind of stuff. I'm just saying. They've gone through all of it. I think it's just eventually going to come back to it being renovating where we're at. Watson, I almost wanted to say, like, he's like Dan Gilbert, like, don't comment on this. I don't really care. That's fine. He has a comment on it. He'd rather play in a dome. That's fine. Will that ruffle the feathers of some fans who are the hardcores that like going down there when it snows and when it rains, all that kind of stuff? I don't know. Do you think that factors in what the players want?
The Browns players?
Yeah. No.
About what Deshaun says? You're
No,
saying?
I'm talking about as they're building the stadium. Do you think it factors in the play on the field? Like, here's my point. I'm not doing a well job. Here's what I mean. When they sit down and discuss putting a dome versus an open the field, do they think like, well, we have a true advantage if we put a dome up versus a true advantage if we left it open?
No,
I don't think that conversation happens.
Yeah,
I don't.
No.
They're talking about money and commerce. They're not really caring. So that's the other part of it, right? That's the other thing that does not factor into this. A lot of the stadiums that where we're at geographically in North, they have domes. Detroit, Minnesota, all that, they've had them forever. I don't know. Like, I know it's a story because, again, Watson brought it up and he'd rather play in a dome. I think every player would. Watson added, if they redo the stadium on the lake, it's not going to be bad either because people hate coming to Cleveland and playing at that stadium. It's one of the toughest environments to play in. We're going to use it to our advantage. So I get that side of it too. At the end of the day, you still have to play football. So if I had to pick, I'm choosing the dome. But I'm rocking with the dome. I'm rocking with the lights, stadium, turf grass, all that, whatever we pick. That's what I'm going to go with for sure. That's what Deshaun Watson said. So again, the ideal thing is not going to happen. So you got to go to the secondary part of it. The other thing about his injury and discussing about where he's at with the shoulder, he said he's on pace. He's fully healthy, or not fully healthy, but I'm saying he's on the way of getting fully healthy. We discussed a little bit, Ryan. Where are you at? The worry that you have with Deshaun Watson's shoulder? This was an injury that is not a common one. It's a little bit out there. He's supposedly on schedule. I'll put it this way. I'm a little worried that I am so nonchalant about it. I'm a little worried that I'm just so disregarding any worry about him getting healthy that maybe I should care more than I do.
I don't know. It all goes back to expectations. And from what we've seen in this 2-year span with Deshaun Watson, it sucks because your expectations are already super low given his level of play. Obviously, this injury is pretty unique, as people have come out and said, with the glenoid, whatever that means.
Displaced fracture.
Someone like me, that just sounds like gibberish. But at the end of the day, I mean,
didn't know I had a glenoid. You have one too.
A glenoid?
Yeah.
Well, we're humans, so
yeah, we have one. I didn't know I had one.
But worry level, I mean, in terms of the injury, I'm not like super worried, given that I haven't seen anything come out. I mean, maybe a little bit worried because it's such a unique injury, but at the same time, it's like he can't really get any worse than he was. So if anything, I just have blind optimism, I guess.
Well, that's my thing. It's the hope and the want that it's going to be just fine because I need to find out who he is and I can't have any more excuses about him being hurt. Like, I need him to be healthy, whether it's the first start of the, beginning of the year, if it takes a little bit of time, I don't know. I guess I need to remind myself that it's probably bad business to just flat out assume Deshaun Watson's going to be back and be healthy and be just fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but at the end of the day, it's like, it sucks how dependent our future is as a team.
I mean, that's
on
all
Deshaun
of it,
Watson. Right? So that is obviously cause for concern. But at the end of the day, it's like, I just need him to go out and play some football, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I look at it from how the Browns are going to operate too. They've built all this stuff for him. They brought the snow OC and all this other kind of stuff, but it's just like I'm a little concerned about how quickly I'm just like, oh yeah, he'll be fine. It'll be all good. We'll figure it all out. We'll see how it goes. Back to the Cavs. Our Twitter question is up at Matt Fontana Show. Are you upset with the Cavs for losing that game last night? 72-28. I am. People are. Jim tweets, the Cavs aren't that good, so I don't expect him to win. Okay, fine. Fair enough. I got into comments about what Dan Gilbert said about Donovan Mitchell's future. Okay. And he said he was confident that he would sign a contract here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I had some pushback, a few messages here on the social media platforms, and I'm going to sum it up by this. He's the owner. He can say what he wants. Fine. I understand that. Dan Gilbert owns the team. Dan Gilbert is more in the know than you and I are. He can say what he wants. Doesn't mean that there still won't be repercussions for it. And I'm not saying that Donovan Mitchell heard what Dan Gilbert said and got pissed off and said, how do you know what I'm thinking? Or, okay, fine. I'll show you. I don't think that was a comment that you gained anything saying, and there's a potential that you could lose things. That's my whole point on what Dan Gilbert said about Donovan Mitchell. When Dan Gilbert said, I'm confident that Donovan Mitchell is going to re-sign with the Cavaliers on an extension, what do you gain by that? Trying to calm things down a little bit? Trying to douse the flames of everybody upset with your basketball team right now? That is maybe the only thing that you gain. What you could lose is ruffling feathers with Donovan Mitchell. Those do not equal out. I don't think there was any point in Dan saying what he had to say other than, again, trying to calm some people down. But the fact, and maybe he's got an amazing relationship with Donovan Mitchell, and this was him saying, I didn't like it. There's a lot of things that I didn't like about it. And I just look at Dan and I say, you need this guy to resign here. It is the easiest path for the Cavs to get back to winning a championship. Let's call it for what it is, for Dan Gilbert to make a lot of money. You make more money when your team's better. It's an easy thing. It's economics. It's capitalism. It's great. It's awesome. Fantastic. Your team's better. You're going to make more money. The best version of your team is with Donovan Mitchell here. And I'm not saying that Dan Gilbert needs to, grovel in front of, Donovan Mitchell. Oh, please, Donovan, come back. Oh, please, oh, please. I'm not saying that at all. But also in a negotiation standpoint, you don't want to let your cards be, you got to keep some things close to the vest in this, right? It's just when this deal is not done, and I'm going to be paranoid about it until it is done, I don't want anything that could potentially screw this up. You know what I'm saying?
This might be early, and this might be me just hitting the panic button too early, but you mentioned the Cavs being the best with Donovan Mitchell when he's in the uniform,
yes.
And that's obvious.
Right.
He's a superstar,
yes.
by far the best player on this team.
Yes.
Do you think, though, we're at maybe a point to just ponder that maybe Donovan Mitchell, us being the best with Donovan Mitchell isn't nearly good enough, and maybe him not re-signing this extension, trading him, and maybe getting some pieces back is really maybe an option here?
So your whole point is, again, in the ultimate goal of winning a championship.
You never want to do anything.
Right now, it seems like Donovan Mitchell is your best path towards that, but your point is well taken, right? It's not the only path. And the other path is exactly what you mentioned. You would then sign and trade Donovan Mitchell away for a bunch of draft picks and maybe some young players and hope that is your new path to going to win a championship. You're right. He's not the only one. He just seems to be the best. Now, is there a world that I'm saying your option, but the other option actually is better? That's something to think about.
Puts a lot on Mobley.
The other part about the new CBA, the money that you have, the money that's already tied up, maybe you're right. Now, that's asking to hit on draft picks and making sure you're bringing in the right pieces. The issue is, if he leaves, I don't see a superstar on this team.
Well, and that's the problem, because it's kind of like, I don't know if there's a way out either way, because as I mentioned, and I've been pretty vocal on this for the last month or two, Matt, is that I don't think, as good as Donovan Mitchell is, I don't think he's good enough to bring this Cavs team to that level to make a championship.
So then,
and that goes back, you need, you go look at the history. I know we talked about the Kawhi anomaly, but at that point, Kawhi Leonard was a top 5 player in the NBA. Jokic, the most recent, obviously, you had the Warriors with Steph and KD. And maybe go look at the Celtics. Their team with two great players. I don't know if I would say Tatum or Brown are top 5. Certainly not Brown. But they're yet to get it done. And maybe this is the year they do, but maybe they don't. It goes back to show how superstar-driven this league is. You need a Nikola Jokic. You need a Giannis. And I don't think the Cavs are nearly at that point yet. And maybe it reset. I don't want to say reset, because I'm never going to punt the season away. But I'm just saying, the way this Cavs are built, Darius is not playing well. Evan Mobley, maybe. I don't think he'll ever be a top 5 player in the league. I don't know. You kind of need that.
No, you do. And that's multiple ways that you could find players, and a GM would tell you that there might be I'll tell you this, almost every draft, is there not an impactful player? Almost every. Now, you don't know where, you don't know when you believe in these kind of guys, and there are recent drafts where you just can't tell yet. I can't tell about Cade Cunningham, right? I can't even know if I tell about Evan Mobley. I can't tell you about Scotty Barnes. I can't tell you about Scoot Henderson. and all these recent picks. Wembanyama looks great. Okay, fine. What's he going to be? Like, there is, you almost want to be built like Oklahoma City, where I would say lucked into, but you got shy, which turned into being an elite player, and then you still had top picks to go get Chet Holmgren and the like. And even then,
but then I mean, Shai.
Do you even think that
Shai's even this season? Shai this season is a better season than Donovan Mitchell's ever had, and that's no shot at Donovan.
But let me ask you the ultimate question: do you think the Thunder are going to win the title?
No,
of
course
not.
But that goes back to it's their first season in the playoffs.
Sure.
I don't expect any team that young, especially in that West, to go to the championship.
Oh, sure.
Now, if they did that, then my whole theory, changed.
That.
But the NBA is so different. The NFL, we see obviously Patrick Mahomes recently, and he's a top 5 player, probably the best player in football, hands down. But then you see the Rams win. Obviously, Stafford's not like a top 5 quarterback, I don't think, by any measure. I mean, baseball, the Diamondbacks were in the World Series. The NBA is so different. Every team, is so superstar driven. Donovan Mitchell isn't a top 5 player.
That's a fair take. All right, we got a lot coming up. We're going to get back into our Twitter question this morning at Matt Fontana Show. You can follow us there. You can follow me at Matt Fontana83. Drop me a follow there. I dropped below 20,000. I'm like at 19.99.
Oh.
Drop me a follow at Matt Fontana83. Let's get that back up over there. We're up streaming. I don't mention YouTube enough. We're up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all across the like at Matt Fontana Show. Big play for us on Monday is always a big day. We got the Big Play Cleveland show tonight. Jensen Lewis going to be joining every week there on that show to talk a lot of guards. We got Hanford Dixon tonight. We got Blake and Greg Williams all across the board. Monday's a giant day for us here at Big Play. And, of course, we always kick things off right here at Matt Fontana Show, 9 to 11 each and every morning right here in Big Play. But, again, giant day for us. Monday's always a busy day. We got our Cincinnati show tomorrow. We got Josh and Maria Cribbs on Tuesdays. Big Play is where you need it, folks. Follow us on Twitter. Big Play CLE is another account on Twitter and Instagram. Big Play as well. Let me just say something.
I'm just thinking, Matt, after watching LeBron drop 40, like you're telling me in some world, there's no way you can just get rid of this Darius contract and get LeBron back in Cleveland.
He's not coming back.
But him and Donovan, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Those are like LeBron, even at 40, I understand maybe not top 5 anymore. But with his he's a player who coming in the Cavs might make it out of the damn East.
For 1 or 2 years.
I don't care.
I know, I'd sell my soul for that too. You talk about selling the future off to bring in a guy like that.
Teams that are winning championships.
Don't even
Nuggets obviously drafted
The
Nuggets drafted Nikola Jokic. That's
then
one
they
thing.
traded for Aaron Gordon, but they drafted Jamal Murray and they drafted Michael Porter Jr.
I'm just saying, Matt. I don't know if we're doing
the
it
NBA.
The right way.
Okay, here's the problem. Football, you draft to win. Football is the sport that if you want to win, you have to draft.
Agree with that 100%.
Basketball is the one that those lines get so blurred.
That's what you're making my point more valid.
But here's my I'm actually going to counter it. That is not the same NBA that we're in anymore.
But
because for a while it was everybody trade. Look at all these teams and how built they are. The Celtics built through the draft.
Yes,
okay. The Bucks drafted Giannis. Yes, they traded for Dame Lillard. Okay, fine.
But they won
the
with
Nuggets
him.
were built through the draft. The Thunder. Talking about top teams.
I'm just saying, like the Sun or the Cavs. They traded back for LeBron. The Warriors. They traded for KD.
I don't know. The Knicks seem to be that they were.
The Raptors traded for Kawhi.
I know. That's the thing. The Knicks. Like I'm talking about top teams right now. The Knicks are a team that, like, okay, they drafted Jalen Brunson, but then all their other guys are kind of
No, they didn't.
Didn't they draft Jalen Brunson?
No, they got him from the Mavericks.
Oh, that's right. What am I saying? Okay, so the Knicks are one of those old teams.
I'm saying, Matt, it's the NBA is so
right.
different than the other sports, and no way cut it. Donovan's the best player
all
since
right, out
LeBron.
west, Thunder were drafted, Nuggets were drafted,
but the Thunder haven't done anything yet.
I know. The Timberwolves, take them for what you
They
want.
haven't done anything yet, but they could. I mean, Ant's a guy in a couple of years top 5 player in the NBA.
Gobert, okay. Clippers are manufactured.
Yeah, but they're always the Clippers. I mean, like, whatever.
Hey, yeah, the question, would you rather be manufactured or drafted? Would you rather draft your team or manufacture your team?
Well, manufacturing is probably a little bit easier. For at least a championship window. It can be, yeah. I'm just saying the NBA is so different.
Things got a lot harder for the game.
Why?
Did you see it?
What? It's April Fool's, so be careful.
No, it's from Woj. It's the real Woj. Joel Embiid's expecting to play this week.
Yeah.
He's going to return this week. Where are we at? 76ers. Oh, they're way off. But you're going to face them in the playoffs. Got a half-game lead on the Knicks, a game-and-a-half lead on the Magic. Bad spot for the Knicks.
I'm just saying.
You're in a bad spot.
It's crazy.
You're in a bad spot.
You need that player, Matt.
Bad
And
spot.
bring LeBron back. I don't even care if my championship window is 1 to 2 years.
I'm telling you to just send that off to the side. Send that on off to the side because it's not happening.
Change.
Oh, I'll tell you what's going to change. You want me to tell you what's going to change this offseason? I'll tell you what's going to. Do you want to save this clip? And I'm going to tell you exactly how the Cavs offseason is going to go. Are you ready?
Sure.
You don't want me to? It's
No,
fine.
I want you to. I'm just thinking.
It's negative. So it's negative. Number one, they will be moving on from JB Bickerstaff. I don't want that to happen.
I don't necessarily say that's a negative.
It's going to happen.
To be determined.
Donovan Mitchell will then sign his extension with the Cavs, and the Cavs will then trade away Darius Garland. And in those moves, they will acquire draft picks. They don't even necessarily need players. They are just going to get draft picks for Darius Garland because they cannot take any more salary.
I know, and that's the issue is because you have to sign Evan Mobley, who you thought was going to be better than he is now. And he could be.
And I'll tell you what, I'll give you an offshoot that there's a chance that they get an extension for Jared Allen.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. He deserves an extension. You want to go all in with him? I would too.
Jared Allen is the perfect guy to be your third best player on a championship team. I'll confidently say that.
Yeah, but that's your offseason. That's it.
Then what's the point of even keeping Donovan?
I mean, the Cavs have to believe that you can win a championship with Donovan Mitchell. You have to believe that.
I understand that, but from this point of view,
right now,
it'd be very hard for me to believe that that's
my
even
point.
a possibility.
You can't see the forest through the trees right now. You can't see anything. We're in a bad spot. What you got to go back to is what Donovan was playing back in January and how he's playing with those guys being out. And the reset, because the other thing, if you move on from JB Bickerstaff, you are then putting all your eggs into a basket of a new coach with a new system that maybe fits the players better, maybe you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's going to play out. But if you believe that a fix of a new system would help some of these guys, then maybe that's where we're at.
And I'm sure it probably would. But
it'd be much worse, right?
But the thing is, it really, at least from my thing right now, I'm just thinking grand scheme in a couple years, right? I don't see us winning with Donovan Mitchell. Not his fault. However, yeah, maybe you do get those draft picks. You keep Jared Allen. That's one of the best pieces you can keep there. You hope in a year, 2 years, Evan Mobley really does make that leap, transcends. I'm not that confident he's going to. But then, yeah, you get those draft picks, and there's no option. You have to hit on a Luka. You have to hit on an Anthony Edwards. You have to hit, obviously, Wemby. I'm not going to say we're going to see it, even a prospect like Wemby, but you have to hit on those.
I agree.
Or the Cavs are absolutely screwed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. You put yourself in the situation, your margin of error is so thin. The thing is, you have your way out, and that's Donovan Mitchell. Whether or not you believe in him or not, championship, we'll have to see. All right, let's catch our break. Morning update, lot to get into. We'll get back to the guards when we return. We got our boost for the guards tonight, which we'll get to as well. We'll get to the grid. We'll get to timeout and our week-long bracket as well. The finals of the best bar in Cleveland. We got it all for you right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. And you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
I'm remiss for not saying happy Dingus Day to everybody out there today as well. A lot of people that enjoy Dingus Day.
I saw in the news. I'm like, Mom, what is Dingus Day?
So traditionally, it's always the day after Easter. It's always like the Monday after, whatever.
Polish?
Yeah, it's like a lot of Middle European, countries like that. Yeah, Polish is a big part and all that. The tradition is deeply rooted in Hungary as well. Cleveland, Ohio. Dingus Day in Cleveland is celebrated with a parade, polka, and a crowning of Miss Dingus. Large celebrations are centered on the west side neighborhoods, including Tremont, the Detroit. Everybody goes to Gordon Square, I think, too, right? And the epicenter of the celebration is held at Gordon Square. Notable local leader, Cleveland-style polka. Cleveland is home to the Polka Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
No, there you go. I think it's just a reason to go drink, right? I can't say I've ever been a part of Dingus Day.
Me either.
It's kind of. I think it's like the Polish version of St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Right? You celebrate it being over, Lent being over.
I can get down with that.
Traditionally, boys would throw water on girls on the Monday after Easter. This is accompanied by a number of other rituals, including making door-to-door processions. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I just know a lot of people like to just go drink for Dingus Day. So enjoy if you're out there celebrating. Happy to be a part of it here on the Monday after Easter. All right, lots to get to. Morning update. Ryan, take it away.
All right, well, the reason to celebrate is the Guards out west traveled to play the Athletics a 4-game series, Matt. They win 3 of those. People think they should have won 4. A late mistake by Bo Naylor getting picked off at third base, but nonetheless, the Guardians are 3-1 on the young season as Stephen Vogt makes his managerial debut.
I love it. I mean, it's, again, you got some bats, you got some hits, you got some run. Pitching was great, and you talk about getting off on the right foot. A lot of those Terry Francona teams didn't do that. In the early part of the season, you were just like wading through and, just trying to get to the warmer weather. All right, you get off to I know I'm not saying it was blistering warm out there in Oakland. It was in the 50s, but better than trying to play here right now. The excitement is there. You wanted to get off a good start for Vogt because also, there's got to be some nerves and some confidence questions for him doing the job for the first time. He's been around baseball his whole life, but you get off on the right foot and just get things rolling, man. Just get some of these guys getting some hits, contributing. Quan going yard the other day was great to see.
Yeah, man.
And I will always... this team is different, but for the Guardians, it was always about the bats. I was never worried about pitching, right? I was like, oh man, these starters are so good, your bullpen and whatever. Now I think it's a little more even keel on what I'd rather see. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather have the bats going well early in the year. And what you think the pitching should be, can't wait to watch McKenzie tonight. I'd rather have the bats going early. And if your lineup can get some juice rolling, because the other part that is on Vogt's plate right now is finding out lineup stuff and finding out where do I want to bat this guy. Is Ramon Laureano going to stay there? Who's, Tyler Freeman in center? You're getting some at-bats from Arias. This early in the season with as many questions as you had in spring training, you want to find out some of those answers. So if you're going to hit and win a bunch of games while you're also kind of tinkering with the lineup a little bit, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. It's exciting. I'm so happy about the start for the guards. I love it. Guys contributing up and down the line. Get those juices flowing. Another 10 o'clock one tonight against the Mariners. But we got our boost ready to go. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the show.
All right, Matt, we're in a bit of a lull in terms of NFL news as we get ready for the NFL draft this month. But the Browns, a little bit of news there. Not much I really call it news, but quarterback Deshaun Watson came out and said while he would prefer a dome, he'd okay with be playing in a new renovated stadium.
I mean, the thing is the question of, would you rather turf or the dome? I'm sure players would like the ultimate, right? You play in L.A. and you got that dome and you got the turf and all, or not L.A. in Vegas because they have it there. Got to give and take. And one of the things, and again, I want to reiterate what I said earlier. Anybody that tries to tell you that they have concrete information on this, they don't, because there is no concrete information. This is a fluid situation. There's a lot of discussions still be had. But the one thing I will say this, right? If we're even having issues trying to come up with the money for $1 billion stadium, where do you think the money is going to come from for a $2.8 or $3 billion brand new place in Brook Park? Just think that through, okay? Just think about it. The Haslams have a lot of money. I don't think they want to sink it all into the stadium. The city of Cleveland has some money. The state of Ohio has some money. Cuyahoga County has some money. Would you not want all of those entities to work? Because here's the thing. You go to Brook Park, you're getting money from the state of Ohio and the Cuyahoga County. Would you get more money from Cuyahoga County if it stayed in Cleveland or Brook Park? I'm going to put my political hat on for just a second and assume you would get more money if it stayed in Cleveland. And no offense to Brook Park, I don't think they have the money that Cleveland does. So if we are struggling to come up with the money for this, why is it even an entertained option that you're going to go with the most expensive one? Seriously. It's like me walking into a car dealership and my Ford Explorer that I love very much, my modestly priced, my modestly used Ford Explorer that I bought. It's like me walking in and go, how much for that 2024 GT500 Mustang sitting over there? No, you're over here, man. No. You're over here. You're over here. Okay. Unless we start hitting some serious bets on Tipico, we're over here. Okay, that's fine. That's why I think it's going to be. You're always going to hear me say, I think they're staying down there and they're renovating. You can't come up with the money to do that at this point. But again, when they sit down, that 50-50 split, which is another reason why I don't understand the city. I get they don't want to spend all of it. But even if they had to come up with $500 million, it's not actually just $500 million from the city of Cleveland. They're going to go to the state of Ohio. They're going to go to Cuyahoga County and try to come up with some of this money, okay? It's not all just that. I just also wonder why they can't tap into some of the sports betting, man. I know that money is going to education as it should be, but you would not have sports betting if you didn't have the teams. And I know the bill is passed and it have to go back through the Senate, Ohio Senate and all that kind of stuff to figure it out, the House and all that kind of crap. But I'm just saying, I'm going to make math easy on myself. Let's say you got $100 million in revenue from sports gambling. 98% of that is going to go to the schools and 2% goes to gambling addiction awareness. Good, great, grand. It's $98 million. What if the Browns leave and you're all of a sudden now 98% of $70 million as opposed to $100 million, when in reality, if you just said, well, we're going to give 10% now to the stadiums, you'd still be making more money on that. You get where I'm going with that? You let the Browns leave, you're going to see a hit everywhere. They need to stay in the city of Cleveland. I want them to stay in the city of Cleveland. I think they're going to redo it there. We'll get it all figured out, but until we actually get some concrete things, we'll figure it out.
Well, Matt, the Cavaliers got blown out in the Mile High City yesterday.
Chip tweets back at us. He goes, Cavs, are they still playing in Cleveland? Yes,
that.
they are. Yes, they are. Good tweet of the morning, by the way.
Well, they weren't playing in Cleveland yesterday, Matt. They were playing in the Mile High City, and they got blown out by the Nuggets 130-111, Matt. And the excuses are running out as the playoffs are right around the corner.
I got to tell you, I thought Donovan Mitchell would just come back and be able to fix some things. He didn't. Shame on me. That's not Donovan's fault. That's not the Cavs. That's my fault. Because it tells you that the Cavs have bigger problems than you think. You really start to look at it and say, that their issues are not easily fixed by one or two guys. So there's going to have to be changes on this. There's going to have to be some sort of flip to get this team where you expect them to go. The problem is, maybe we don't expect them. Like, if anybody was sitting here, and you probably would have been called a negative person and like a naysayer for a good chunk of the year, if you just said, oh, they're going to bow in the first round again. They're going to bow in the first round again. Well, if you were that person, congratulations, you get your day today. Because don't they look like a team that's going to get bounced out of the first round right now?
They sure do.
So maybe we put too much on it. Maybe we thought too much into it. We tried to piece together what we thought this team was going to be. In reality, it's just going to blow up in our face. Like, I try to equate it to football, right? Because what is one thing about football? If you don't have a franchise quarterback, you're wasting your time, right? Do you feel like Donovan Mitchell can be the franchise quarterback pseudo version for the Cavaliers?
I don't know.
I mean, that's my thing. I think he can be, and I think you can win a championship with him. So therefore, until that changes, you got to go all in, get all the players that you can, surround them all with Donovan Mitchell, put everything together, and try to figure it the best out that you can. There's no other course of action right now. You have to trade away Darius Garland. I mean, could you sit down with Donovan Mitchell? And I think he likes Darius and like playing alongside one another. It's just the rules of the game right now. He's going to have to go and sit down with Donovan and go, hey, man, like, we're actually going to get I don't know about a decent haul now, but we're going to get some of these back. There's a vision. You want to know what I think we all struggle with right now? We don't know what the vision of the Cavaliers is. Not the version, the vision of what this team is. What is the future? What is this team look like next year after that? And it's all waiting on Mitchell. It's all waiting on us. But that's the other issue. I've got nothing that I can kind of rely on where I don't know about the future. I just, it's unknown. And you start worrying too much about that. You don't worry about the present. I get all of that. I understand it. Cavs are in a bad spot right now. That loss last night stung. And there's really nothing you can do until we get to the playoffs.
At the ripe age of 39, Matt, LeBron James dropped 40 points in last night's victory against the Brooklyn Nets, and LeBron joins Michael Jordan as the only players in NBA history with multiple games of 40 points or more after turning 39.
I mean, I don't know if he likes those kind of records and stats about the age one, but, like, LeBron is a little like Tiger. I don't need him in every game and tournament. And there's times when he can show up and still show how great he is. It just can't be every night anymore. And the issue of the NBA with the player participation policy and all that, I think they're cutting their nose off to spite their face. Would you not want more games off for LeBron so you can get more games like you had last night?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
Like,
maybe not at this point in his career, though, as he's dwindling down and the
that's
number
what
of
I'm
games
saying.
is getting limited.
No,
but I know what you're saying.
I'm saying,
I know what you're
let
saying.
him play less so I can get more. And you're right. The games off is not a guarantee that he's going to do what he did last night. But isn't there something about New York, too, for him? Now that he's in L.A., it's different, but he shows up when he goes to New York. Probably more Madison Square Garden, and I know they were in Brooklyn, but still, there are certain, he shows up when he goes to Miami, he shows up when he comes back to Cleveland. For some reason, I think he shows up when he plays the Wizards, too. Like, there are just some cities that when he goes to, he really plays. Should have known. Brooklyn's bad. They're really not a good basketball team. Are the Lakers good? I don't think so.
LeBron's good, but I don't know about the
LeBron is
Lakers.
good.
Well, Matt, before we get into the Immaculate Grid, I want to talk about this story a little bit, get your thoughts on it. Obviously, the big news yesterday was Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice, a little run-in with the law after a drag racing incident left a lot of car. I think it was like a 6-car collision, and apparently fled from the scene. I haven't seen any news updated by that, but it does not look good for what looked like a future star receiver.
I read that that's like a hot spot for in Dallas, that these people go my dad called it rat racing around. You drag racing or drifting or whatever you were doing, man. And, I saw another tweet, and it's just, how do you not look at Henry Ruggs? How do you not look at Jalen Carter with what happened in Georgia? And understand that, listen, there are crappy drivers everywhere. You run into them on but it's like these high-performance machines, it's scary. And I would tell any of these young men that are still learning their way, that has all this money, I'm not saying to go buy a Corvette, go buy a Mustang, go buy a Lambo. But when you see somebody pull up next to you, all you got to do is look at him and be like, bro, I'm driving a Corvette. I don't need to show off to you or anybody about how much power is in this Corvette. It's a Corvette. What do you mean? Oh, man, let's go. What? Come on. Dude, you're driving an expensive-ass car. Now, again, I know the other one was too, but like it's dangerous. And then again, yeah, the fleeing of the scene. There was that lady that said her 4-year-old son was in the car.
I'll never understand people fleeing from scenes. There is absolutely no upside to it.
Well, when you think about like,
I get
this
it.
guy will take the fall for me, but it's like, was that
but
car registered to you or not? What are you gonna say? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are you gonna say? It was stolen?
That's what I'm saying, man. Just bad decisions all around.
You gotta be careful, man. And then this Cam Sutton stuff coming out too.
Yeah.
He just turned himself into police. He's on the run for a week. Domestic violence. Like, it's sad. And it's not just football players, not just famous people. It's young people. And you got to, like, there's just so, I truly, I have that fear about my son and my daughter all the time. And there's going to be an anxiety that will live with me for the rest of my life because I have kids. And I'm always going to be worried, where are they at? What are they doing? Right now, it's pretty easy. My daughter is at home with my mom, babysitting. My wife is at work, and my son's at school. I know where they're at. When they turn 18, 19, 20, 21, and they're out there doing, I'm going to just always have that worry. And I have that fear of just trying to tell them, like, dude, just try to keep it on the straight and narrow. Don't drag race people. Don't do stupid things. You could hurt yourself. You could hurt others. Rashid Rice doesn't need me to tell him that. Like, yeah, fleeing the scene, bad idea, all that kind of stuff. But you got this promising career. And the thing is, I know a lot of these players, they have older players or they have people that sit down with them. Do you know about the rookie symposium? This thing, they used to do it here in Aurora. They used to all go to the Bertram out there at Aurora by Barrington Golf Club. Great track, by the way. And they would bring every single rookie, undrafted, drafted, all of them, hundreds. And they would bring them in, and they'd sit them down for a couple of days worth of meetings. And they would have former players stand up there, and they would tell them about money, about the pitfalls of being an athlete, and just try. And it's not like one of those scared straight moments, but just give them information to say, be on the lookout for people to try to scam money out of you. Don't be drag race. Don't be doing these things. And it's just like, I hate to see it. I hate the fact that people got hurt. I hate the fact that there was this accident. It's scary. It's really no different than, dude, I can't. Last week, driving home, two idiots. They weren't even in Corvettes or anything. Just two idiots in cars, weaving in and out of traffic. No regard for anybody else. I hate to see it. Ryan, I don't know if I like seeing the Immaculate Grid, but let's go. Here we go.
Well, it's got the Browns this week.
All right, we got to kick it off strong. If you're new, we do the Immaculate Grid. We try to do the Immaculate Grid. You got to go up and down, left and right. You got to add all the teams in. Our final statistical category is
only one team.
All right, 9 minutes on the clock.
All right, well, let's start ripping the one teams. I'll just go with old Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, Miles Lorenz Garrett, if you would like, and one Lamar Jackson. All right, you just want to rip the Browns so we can start feeling good about some things here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
I want to do Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde works there for the Texans there. Titans Browns.
Austin Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper. Austin Hooper is correct. All right, there we go. All right, Ravens, just because they're in division. Feeling good about any of that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right.
I wish we could do Derrick Henry, obviously, but
not yet. Not yet. He's not been there yet. Ravens Titans. All right, think of the quarterbacks. Any of these quarterbacks work for any of these? I don't think so. Fitzpatrick, Josh Johnson, any of these backups, none of that? No. Oh, man. I instantly wanted to think of a receiver.
Yeah, so did I.
Right? But nothing's jumping in my head. And I'm talking like older receiver, right? All right, Ravens, Texans. Oh. Titans, Ravens, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney. He's starting to enter this conversation of being good for the Immaculate Grid for a lot of players. Jadeveon Clowney. All right, Ravens, Texans. Something here is just gnawing at me of a defensive player. Like a linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. No. Man, I know there's going to be one slap. Running backs?
That's where I was going to go down the well of.
Arian Foster?
Did they play Ravens?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Alfred Blue? No.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah, let's go to Cowboys. All right, Cowboys, Titans, Cowboys, Texans.
Cowboys, Texans. We can do Brandon Cooks.
That works very well on that one. There you go. All right, Titans,
Titans, boys.
boys. Titans, Cowboys.
Can't do Tony Pollard again. It would be after this year.
Yeah, after this year, we'll have one there. Yeah, that's exactly right. Man, I Oh.
DeMarco Murray.
Oh, good call.
Right?
Yeah. You're right. DeMarco Murray's 100% correct. You're right. That is right. Yes. Good call. All right, Ryan, we got some time here.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Ravens,
Texans, Ravens. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. I'm coming from the Ravens standpoint. I need to flip over to the Texans standpoint. Think about players that have run through there. Like,
I would just go back to Lamar Miller. I know he didn't play for the Ravens.
no. Did Matt Schaub ever play for the Ravens?
I have no idea. Billy Cundiff ever played for the Texans?
I don't know. That's a great yeah, the kickers are where we should really try to get good on
It's
this.
just been Tuck for the last 7
Yeah,
years.
well, it's like you got to cycle through. Like, these kickers stop everywhere now. Punters,
I mean, like
think.
Torrey Smith. I'm just thinking of Ravens receivers.
Yeah, like Derek Mason back in the
Anquan
day.
Boldin.
Todd Heap, tight end. You remember him? Dennis Pitta, who was going to be a beast until he hurt his hip. He's out of there. I feel like there's got to be a lineman.
Yeah,
You know-
probably. Did they draft him Budubuke?
No. Oh, Justin Matabuke? Where did he come from?
I don't know. Did the
I think
Ravens
they
draft
drafted him. I think they did.
I mean, Will Fuller's been around. He's never been with the Ravens.
Are you wait? Are you sure?
No.
No, you know who I thought of? Willie Snead.
Willie Snead.
Because Willie Snead played for the Ravens,
I know
and
he
he's
did.
been well traveled.
Like same with like Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, but I don't think he played for the Texans.
Yeah, I don't know if Willie
I don't.
Snead.
I
That's
really.
a good pull though. That's a very good pull.
Yeah, Willie Snead, because he was all over the place for a little while. Yeah, man, the Ravens were running through receivers for a long time. Like Orlando Brown Sr. I'm going back to Jonathan Ogden. Like that. Like the 2000s are teams that we can't forget.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Derek Carr, no. Or I'm sorry, David Carr, no. Son of a gun.
I always go back to Hayden Hurst, but he didn't play for the Texans.
No.
Who's some of their tight ends?
For the Texans? The Ravens have a bunch. I don't think any of them fit. Like, yeah, again, Todd Heap and Pitta.
Think about that Super Bowl roster, 2012.
For the Ravens? Flacco.
They ran through the receivers.
Now I'm trying to think Texans because, oh my God.
Man,
I really, man.
I can't think of any old Ravens players.
No.
Like a punter or something.
That's,
I wonder if Billy Cundiff ever played for the
I mean, you
Texans.
might have to just let that rip. Because, like, we have time, but I also just don't want to sit here for another 3 minutes squirming. Oh, man. I would say just let it rip.
Or you think a Josh Johnson one would hit?
I mean, I know for a fact he played for the Ravens.
Got to be a quarterback. Like, RG3, I don't think he ever played for the Texans.
I know Fitzpatrick played for the Texans. I know that, but I don't think he ever played for the Ravens. I can't picture him.
Hold on. There's got to be a quarterback that we're missing.
Again, Matt Schaub, it turned into a journeyman. I just
Vinny
don't.
Testaverde?
He worked for the Ravens. I don't think he played for the Texans.
Yeah, on more than a few teams.
I know, but it was like I think he was almost done with his career by the time they created
Oh, that's
the
true.
Texans.
They're a newer team.
Yeah. So I guess not. He played till 07. But I will tell you that he does not count. He did not play for the Houston Texans.
Okay. Gosh, there's got to be someone.
I mean, if you want to I would say of all the answers that we have, I'm in with Billy Cundiff or Josh Johnson.
Okay, well, then
I feel-
I'd rather do Johnson.
All right, then do Josh Johnson and see if that
Billy
works.
Cundiff, I'd pick.
Now. All right. See what it is.
Only 33 to pick from. So.
Yeah.
Matt Schaub. Ed Reed.
That's right.
I didn't know he
Oh
played
my
for them.
God, I forgot.
Jadeveon Clowney would
He
have worked.
also went to the Jets.
Wow, I didn't think he worked. Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, how did we not get Jadeveon Clowney? How
Mark
did we
Ingram.
not
Well, we already
get...
used Jadeveon Clowney for the other one.
Oh, that's right.
That wouldn't have mattered.
Well, we
Mark
should have
Ingram,
saved it.
Jacoby Jones.
Yeah,
Justin
that'd have been a good one.
Forsett,
Damn it.
Ryan Mallett. I didn't know Tyrod
All right,
Taylor
dude.
played for the Texans.
Oh, I should have got Ryan Mallett. God.
Man, there were actually quite a few that we could have gotten.
All right.
We dropped the ball on that
We
one.
did. That was a bad one. Should have got Ryan Mallett. on
Hey,
that
it
one.
happens, man.
Yeah, all right.
Joe Thomas, clearly a different one.
Not that one, the linebacker, I'm assuming. Yeah, assuming the linebacker on that one. So it is. All right. Sorry. Was that John Cena's debut? No way. Cody retweeted. Cody, our artist here, retweeted about something like on this day. So I was grabbing for time. I'm like, ooh, what was it? I don't think it was his debut. I think it was somebody else. Or maybe he's already got a belt on, so there's no way it was his debut.
It's an April Fool's.
I don't know. April Fool's is stupid. I'm going to send that tweet out to remind everybody. All right, let's catch a break. Final one in the morning. When we come back, we'll dive into timeout. We'll dive in more into the Browns. We'll get to our boost, our bracket of the week as well. Got it all for you. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works
Oh.
now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. I saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, let's get on to it. A little bit of time hop. We go back to this day in history. We are into a new April, new month. I meant to say month, and I said March is done. Went too fast. It is April. April 1st. Favorite month of the year, Ryan? Is it April?
No.
No, it is no.
Probably
It's
July.
never an answer of April. October. October is my favorite month of the year. Don't know why. Fall time. Still not quite as cold as some of the other months. Football. Something about it. I would say October or June. June. That's a good one. June, July, something like that. But we are into April, so we'll tell you about what happened this day in history. We head on back right here with a little bit of time hop, including 3 years ago today, Ryan, opening day for your Cleveland Indians. Would you like a little box score from the guards?
Let's hear it.
Well, they were the Indians back then still. Season opener, April 1st. I think I remember this game. In Detroit, freezing ass cold, and we fell 3-2 to the Detroit Tigers. Shane Bieber got your start, obviously. Your lineup. Leading off in center field, Jordan Luplow went 0 for 3. Cesar Hernandez batting second at second base, 1 for 4. Then Jose Ramirez, Eddie Rosario, Franmil Reyes, Josh Naylor, Yu Chang, Roberto Perez, and Andres Jimenez was your starting lineup for the Guards 3 years ago today on opening day. Bieber, Shaw, and Karinchak all pitched that day for the Guardians. Again, opening lineups, never the same. They always change. That was a lineup right there, but we'll see how it goes. This day, 2020, Vegas predicting the Browns to finish third in the AFC North. We would not. We would finish second and go to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield and crew. Suck it, Vegas. It's also a crazy year when... Also, again, did we have 3 teams go to the playoffs that year? Because we beat Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And then Baltimore win, right? Or no. Cincinnati win. 2020. COVID year.
Or is that the year that Burrow tore his knee up? I know it was rookie year, wasn't it?
Which would have been... Wait. 2020 NFL standings. Steelers 12-4. You're right. That's the year he tore it up. Steelers 12-4. Ravens and Browns 11-5 each. We all go to the playoffs. We beat the Steelers. That's right, because they won the AFC North. That's right. Dude, think about that. Because it happened again last year. What division could you find me that in the span of 3 seasons, twice you had 3 teams go to the playoffs?
Wouldn't it be nice to win the division?
Oh, I'd be fantastic. It would be absolutely fantastic. I'm still waiting on that. I've been waiting literally almost my whole life to win that. Last one they won was what, 1992, 1993? Something like that. The last time they won the division.
No, but before that.
Every year. Was it the 80s then? Late 80s?
It's like late
Something
80s.
like that. Can't wait for it. This day, 2009, Odell Beckham with his introductory press conference. The story out of that was, though, Freddie Kitchens dropped his whoop-de-hell line. Remember that? Everybody was freaking out about Freddie because of whoop-de-hell. Made T-shirts. Riz had a party about it. All that kind of stuff. Whoop-de-hell, Freddie said for the first time. This day, 2019. This day, 2014, Johnny Manziel with a pre-draft visit with the New England Patriots. Could you imagine Bill having to deal with Johnny Manziel?
I wish he would have.
Yeah, right. Probably would have been better off, but that would have been a sight to be seen. Also, this day was the 2014 season opener, but it got rained out for the Indians back this day, 2014. This day, 2013, the end of an era. The Browns trade away Colt McCoy. 10 years later, he's still in the NFL.
Yeah, man.
He's turned into a career, buddy. Like, from what he was in college, because there's a world that you put Colt McCoy as a top 5 college quarterback of all time.
Yeah, man.
Some statistical thing. But they traded him away this day, 2014. Do you know who Alan Kulwicki is? The Polish prince. He was a NASCAR driver. He unfortunately passed away this day, 1993. But he popularized the Polish victory lap when you go the opposite way to celebrate your victory.
Didn't know that.
So NASCAR actually, usually the way that I'm looking at it goes this way. He would go the other way. Alan Kulwicki. This day, 1979, Nickelodeon officially launches nationally. Best Nickelodeon show of all time. Go.
Oh, gosh. I mean, just off the rip, I'm going to say SpongeBob.
That's probably the answer.
But, I mean, there's so
Rugrats,
many.
Doug,
Like
Hey Arnold.
Yeah, the animated ones, I mean, oh, my gosh. There's just so many.
There's a lot. Then, yeah, you get into, like, Legends of the Hidden Temple before your time.
I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah, that's a good show. Guts, Double Dare. We're past the golden age of Nickelodeon now,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is sad.
especially.
Which is sad. But SpongeBob, early SpongeBob's cannot be beat. This day, 1976, Apple was officially founded and incorporated. Like to have that stock this day, wouldn't it?
Could you imagine, man?
What do you think Apple stock is trading for today?
I don't know. Like a single stock?
Yeah. You want a single stock of Apple, it's going to cost you $169.
I would say $200. So
It's actually down over the last, over the last day, like year to day. How about this? All right, for the year, a 52-week high, it was $199. Its lowest was $159. So at $169, we're down. So it's the day trade. So you buy it and you flip it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Microsoft is up. Amazon's down. I have not clicked on stocks in. I can't even tell you last time I clicked on a stock thing. Founded April 1st, 1976, Los Altos, California, for Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak and crew. This day, 1700, the first ever April Fool's Day was sell. It's not a sell. It's April Fool's Day is stupid. Nobody likes it. The jokes are not funny. And we get trolled on social media all day. So, like, that's the thing. We're getting legitimate news, and people are like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's going on here? April Fool's Day is stupid. Nobody likes it. Star Dakota Gray. Oh, yeah, because getting pranked once a year is just unbearable. Can't wait to see my aunt post fake engagement. It's like when you have somebody that, like, they post the ultrasound picture or something like that. And, or the one that they get, like, arrested. Like, there's so many stupid ones out there. It sucks. It's bad. Nobody likes it. It's not very fun. Happy birthdays go out to Cleveland legend, Mr. Jimmy Hanlon, celebrating a birthday today. Randy Orton, Jacob Phillips, Browns linebacker, the late, great Mr. Sean Taylor, and Sergei Rachmaninoff. You ever listen to any Rachmaninoff over there?
Nope.
He's no Mozart. He's no Beethoven. He's Rachmaninoff. It is what it is. All right, one movie for you today. Okay. We go back to 1993. I start by saying that this film is very appropriate for this time of the year. Okay?
Okay. It's an Easter film?
No. Sports. Think about sports, okay? I don't want to just give it up to you because I think what I want to say would probably just give it up. I'll just say it. Somebody's got to go pickle the beast.
Who's got to go what?
Somebody has to go pickle the beast.
Pickle the beast?
Yeah.
That was going to give it away.
Yeah. Nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Pickle the beast.
Yeah. Somebody has to put on their PF flyers, go over that fence, and pickle the beast.
Oh. Sandlot.
Sandlot is correct. Benny the Jet. Squints. My favorite part of that movie is the end where they tell, like, where everybody went. They're like, Timmy and Tommy became an architect and a contractor, but they made it big when they invented mini malls. Bertram really got into the 70s. Nobody ever saw him again. And then Squints married Wendy Peppercorn. Yeah. They have 9 kids. They bought Vincent's Drugstore, and they still own it to this day. It's weird that I know every single one of those kids. Nunez pitched AAA, but he never made it to the majors. He now codes his own business. Timmy, Tommy. Got shipped off to military school, but became a pioneer of bungee jumping. And they go, of course, we all know why. What's the other one? Timmy, Tommy, Nunez, Squints, Bertram.
It's a fact.
Oh, the Hambino. Yeah, the great Hambino. He became a wrestler. And then, of course, we know what happened to Smalls and Benny the Jet. That was all of them, right? I don't think I missed anybody. Sandlot, good flick. Second one I haven't seen because it's unmitigated trash. I just don't know what to tell you. All right, Ryan, guards to... We'll get it up on Typico. Can I tell everybody what our boost is tonight?
Yeah,
so we're going to go Guardians money line. We are going to go Andres Jimenez 2 total bases.
I like that a lot.
He could hit a double, a home run. We're good. Triple fine. He could have 2 singles. A walk does not count as a total base, though. Stolen base. Do that. Total base is 2 for Andres Jimenez. And the one that I'm a little iffy on, but I'm just having a lot of belief in Tristan McKenzie, 7 strikeouts. We need over 6.5 strikeouts for Tristan McKenzie tonight. So we'll get that boosted up, posted up on Tipico. We'll see how it goes. You staying up for the game? How are you feeling on them starting on the West Coast? Has it been annoying?
It's been a little bit annoying. I
bit.
guess I get it out of the way. But, man, I can't stay up late anymore, Matt.
Oh, it's tough. It is really tough. Really tough. I'll give you that. But again, there's just something about it. There's something about that I enjoy being able to stay up, watch the game a little bit. Are you in on the guards? And I'm not saying that you were ever out of the guards, so to speak, but like, do you think people are jumping in on this team after one series? I saw people tweet yesterday about like, they're not going to win them all, and people getting upset. Like, yeah, it's baseball. You win every series, you'll be doing just fine. Me, this is the best start I could have asked for. This is literally the best start I could have asked for. You are raking, you're hitting, you had to look to win it yesterday, and your pitching's doing just fine.
Yeah, it's the A's, so you can say whatever, make whatever jokes you want, but at the end of the day, they're starting off hot. The bats are more alive than they ever been last year, quite frankly. And I mean, it's baseball. It's a 162-game season. The Astros are 0-4 right now. They got swept by the Yankees. Obviously a long season, but I mean, to win 3 out of 4 against any major league team, you take it as a win.
Absolutely. How's Final Four going? I thought, again, for how it's played out on the men's, but more importantly, the women's side of it, because it's here in Cleveland.
Tonight we get Angel Reese and
We
Caitlin Clark.
do. Excited for that game.
Sabrina Ionescu versus Juju Watkins.
Sabrina Ionescu.
Or I'm sorry,
Paige Bruckers.
Paige Bruckers.
Bruckers.
Both UConn.
Yeah,
right?
both UConn.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was like,
you're right. My bad.
So here's the thing, and I know some people have tweeted about this and they're right on. Dude, we are so set up. So at this point, you have NC State, which has just been a great story on the men's and the women's side. They advance. You got South Carolina, which is what you really needed. Yeah. And now I look at it from the women's standpoint to say, almost however this shakes, and I want Caitlin Clark here as much as the next guy to help our city, and I think a lot of people want to watch it. So I'll be rooting hard for her, but even if not, you get LSU. Make all this Kim Mulkey stuff,
yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know. She slams this piece that comes out.
Yeah, but she slammed it before it even came out.
But then everybody read it, and they're like, there's nothing in here. She was alleged, like, they're calling her sexist in a way, I guess, because she was allegedly treating the gay players different than the other ones and telling players to lose. I don't know. That made it sound like there was some like absolutely horrendous thing that came out and she freaked out about nothing. I don't know. Then the other side, you get USC, UConn. Again, you take either one of those teams. I think of both those matchups of what you have right now, the only thing you might be missing is NC State because they beat Texas.
Yeah.
You maybe wouldn't want Texas, so it's laying out. On the guy side of things, solid. I don't know what to tell you. You got some number 1 seeds. You got your Cinderella and NC State that nobody really wants to see win. This is now UConn. You're on a collision course of UConn Purdue. That's what you want to see. That's what I want to see. Nobody wants to see NC State upset Purdue, and nobody wants to see Alabama take down UConn. Right? Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No. I'm not wrong. You're not wrong, Walter. So remind me of this, because we got to wait till what, Friday?
Yep,
no,
Friday.
Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay.
That's right. They usually go Saturday.
And the championship game is what?
Monday.
God, I hate that.
Why not? Or why?
Because of Monday.
You get the football national championship on that day.
I hate that too.
Remind listen to that. Remind me slamming hard. I'm sure. Actually, can I do it on Tipico right now? I'm sure
What?
I can. The lines.
Yeah.
I'm slamming Purdue and UConn. Slamming it. They're gonna win. There's no way that they don't. Well, remind me to do this as our boost, too. So I got the women here. That's going to be fun. Should I play some bets on that?
UConn's going back to back.
So Purdue is a 9.5-point favorite over NC State. UConn is 11.5.
Those are some crazy Final Four spreads.
Minus 750 and minus 450. If I parlay those, I only get to minus 260. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You got 2 basically double-digit spreads there in the Final Four. Slamming that. I didn't watch too much. I mean, I watched a little bit this weekend. I was all in the guards, man. I was all in on the guards, which is going to be a lot of fun, as we get this geared up. All right, Ryan, final thing for us this morning. Let's get to it. Our month-long bracket has come to the finals. The best bar in Cleveland. Now, remember when you set the poll, you got to set this for 5 days.
Yeah.
It's got to run all day. It's going to run all week. The best bar in Cleveland. Clevelander, Fatheads, Scorchers, and Mulligans. Well representative all across Northeast Ohio. Your early pick, Ryan.
Okay, Matt, don't hate me.
Yeah.
Never been to any of these bars.
What?
Never been to a single one of these.
Been to every single one of them. Actually, maybe not Scorchers.
So what's your vote? Your vote is clearly the one that matters then.
Clevelander.
Clevelander?
Clevelander.
Can we go to the bar that wins?
Yeah, we should. We should do like a little remote. We'll let them know. I'll tell you what. We'll print them a plaque. We'll print them a little paper plaque or something like that. We'll take it on in.
We'll make the big play crew go.
We should. I tweeted at Drew Garrison. He's like, oh, man, I got to run some Call of Duty. So he was joking about.
No, I saw that.
I know.
So he was
joking. So he was joking about how all these people make money streaming. And granted, there's Shroud and all these guys that make a bajillion dollars streaming video games. I get it. And he's like, can I just get somebody to pay me $100 to go stream? And I said, I'll run some Warzone with you.
We should do something with that, man.
I mean, I know you and I game. Obviously, he does. I know Josh Cribbs games. We got to do something.
I want to play some Madden or something, man.
I haven't played Madden in so long. I mean, I'll play it for sure. We should get that rolling.
I would whoop on you.
I know you would. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Madden would be such, like, we'd have to play COD. I think COD's the only thing I would feel. Now, when NCAA
I'd still
comes
whoop
out.
on you in COD.
Well, now you're just poking the bear over here. You've not seen me play.
You haven't seen me
You
play.
just assume that I'm old and that I suck?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, as a true old guy, do you know that I have a controller with paddles? Do you have one of those?
No, I don't need one.
There you go. I already have the advantage.
I have a built-in advantage.
Why? Because you're younger?
Yeah.
You probably do play more than I do.
No, I haven't played Call of Duty in a minute.
So what are you talking about? You're going to beat me. You're going to be able to take me down. No way.
It's just like Tyson's still going to beat the hell out of Jake Paul.
Yeah,
It's not
that's fair.
rigged.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm Mike Tyson in that.
I just meant from the sense of he hasn't played in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd be Mike Tyson in that. I'm the old guy.
No, not in this scenario.
Smoke him. When's that fight happening, by the way? Not that I care.
Did you see the rules that came out for it?
No.
So they got really big gloves, bigger gloves. This is where it gets into met.
Okay.
Unless there's a knockout, no winner.
Of course.
I know.
So this goes down as an exhibition because there's no way they would card this and they'd get a license for it being a pro fight. Even though I think Jake Paul is a pro fighter, technically. What a joke, man. Like, seriously, what a joke. They should have put it on April Fool's Day. Yeah. Two things that I hate. Jake Paul and April Fool's. They should have put it on today for that. I will not be watching. I don't really care what happens with Mike Tyson. I hope he doesn't die in there. What if he kills him?
That'd be crazy.
Either way. I hope that does not happen. I hope that does not happen. But you're putting an old guy in the ring that's not fought in a long time. That not interested, not really trying to watch any of that, but we'll see. I thought this was interesting. Dave Schoenfield did 8 things that he learned from MLB opening weekend. And a couple of these are impact the Guardians. Now, he didn't have the Guardians straight up in this, but he said the bad teams look really bad, the Rockies, the White Sox, and the A's. He talked about offensive numbers actually being up across baseball. So, like, Sunday night, from last year to this year, league hitting was up 5 points. Runs were up by 0.5 point, which is pretty interesting. Then he talked about the Twins being hit by the injury bug. Royce Lewis, he's out weeks now, right? He's got a quad injury, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be out. Then they already traded. I mean, dude. I'm not saying the Central's starting to wide open here, starting to widen out here, open up things a little bit for the Guardians here. But if the Twins are going to be hurting, Guardians going to play there. Again, dude, I get so hooked. And I'll tell you this. I hope they win tonight because I can already tell you what my 2 for Tuesday is going to be for tomorrow. Are you already hooked on the Guards? Are you already hooked on the Guards to believe that they might actually be able to go do something? So I hope they get a win tonight. Be able to play it out. For the Cavs, we got to wait till tomorrow night to try to see if they're going to get a win. Just to try. Do the wins even suffice it anymore?
Just for the sense of playoff standing.
What do you mean? Yeah. I mean, do they actually get you back to a good place?
Yeah, it'd be very hard to do.
It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do.
Unless they strung a couple together to end it.
We asked everybody this morning, when you looked at that game last night, how upset were you? Approach 200 votes, 70-30. 70-30 is where people are at. That, by the way, 70-30, that they are upset about that game and how the Cavs play. I don't see a way out of it at this point. I really don't see a way other than once we get to the playoffs of trying to figure out exactly how it's going to go. Because you know that at the end of the day, that is the end-all be-all. Absolute end-all be-all for how it goes. I didn't know if I was going to get to it here on the show, but I was going back and forth with Dollar Dog Nick. Ryan, do you like Peeps?
No. Ugh.
That's what I said. That's what I said. So I
That's
sent
like
out.
asking if I like the carnival
Easter.
peanuts.
Carnival peanuts are trash, man. They're so bad. So yesterday, Easter. It's one of the few days, the few holidays, maybe Halloween, the day after Halloween, that you're eating candy for breakfast. I had multiple Reese's eggs before 10 o'clock yesterday. And Nick tweeted back at us, and he goes, Peeps? And I was like, no. I did not, and I will not consume a Peep this year. Because he talked about there's one day of the year we'll have a Peep. And I said, the purple one is then the only one that's worth eating. Peeps are disgusting.
To me, eating a Peep is
so
like,
bad.
To me, eating a Peep is like eating insulation.
Yeah. Nobody needs that much marshmallow. Nobody needs that
Imagine
much.
how bad that is for your gut health.
Oh, I didn't want to think about the sugar. Easter's that day you eat it all. We got to, we have kids, so we're like.
I didn't have any candy yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't do anything.
I had a little bit. Because our son, we want him to do the Easter egg hunt, right? So we did it at my parents' house, and we were over at my in-laws in the afternoon. So, like, my mom, she was like, hey, I put some Reese's like the tiny Reese's in a couple of them. I go, that's fine. But then he's sitting there going, oh, I can eat these right now? I'm like, no, bro, you got to eat a little breakfast before we have some, that early in the morning, all that kind of stuff.
No, bro.
But no, we got to hold off on the Peeps. They're disgusting. Yeah, they're just absolutely disgusting. So you had no candies. I was going to ask you if you had any.
I didn't have any.
You indulged on any Easter
festivities.
festivities.
It was a weird holiday because we're in the process of moving.
Oh, that's right. How's that going?
Not good. It's going. I mean,
by the way, I heard Josh mentioning something again about your searching for love here. Are they really all in on that?
Yeah, I guess he's got some missions. We're gonna do a blind dating thing.
Is that not going on Bally's too?
Yeah, I think it will.
How is this not helping you out then?
Well, it hasn't started yet.
Oh! I thought they were already out.
No,
and about
he's in the process of getting the submissions, and then
who's picking the girls?
I guess Josh and Maria. I can't know what they look like.
Oh, then they're gonna come down to the studio,
and we'll do I could ask him questions, but it's like a barrier. I can't see them. And then I pick a winner based off the answers. I don't know what they look like. And then Josh is gonna take us. Then we get dinner, and it's sponsored by Apex, so we get a free facial.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm I'm in.
All right. Okay.
And I can't lose.
Best of luck. Yeah, you get a free facial and dinner out of it. Good. Congratulations. Great. Enjoy the hell out of it. We'll get it started. All right, watch out for our guards boost. It's not up yet. We'll send that out, though, at Matt Fontana 83, at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us follow across all those platforms. We'll be back for a 2 for Tuesday right here on Big Play. Don't forget tonight, too, again, Big Play Cleveland Show. Jensen Lewis tonight. And then we also have Hanford Dixon Show, Blake and Greg Williams. I watched a lot of UFL this weekend. I didn't mention it, dude. I watched a full game on Saturday. Renegades and the Stallions. Nice job, Stallions. They were not winning, and then they came back to cover. Do we need to start getting in on the UFL betting here? I think we're going to have to start doing this a little bit. So Greg is joining tonight. Come get some as the defensive coordinator for the DC Defenders. So watch that. Have a lot of fun tonight right here on Big Play. Follow us across all the channels. Back for a 2 for Tuesday. Enjoy the hell out of your Dingus Day and your Monday. That'll do it for us. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.